going on over there?
Put the gun down.
I saw you with the box. What was in the box?
So after overcoming the initial sticker shock, I picked up a SP9100 by Switch Pros. Like the Auxbeam, this one alleviates the need for relays, but this one also alleviates the need for fuses. All that stuff is built into the module, and it's also programmable. Well, to a certain degree. I thought that this was going to be more programmable than it actually is. Once I got it home, I set up a sort of a test board, not unlike the one that Switch Pros displayed on the Generate YouTube channel. They do a weekly sort of presentation on different products and stuff, and they had Switch Pros on, and they set up this really cool display, and they showed what the top of the line system does, which is the RCR-Force 12, and then they showed what this one does. And unfortunately, I wasn't really paying enough attention at the time. I was just sort of so amazed by the programming and capability of both systems that I thought that they actually had the same functions, and the difference was how much power they can put out, but that's actually not the case. So after about a week of playing around with the SP9100, I contacted Switch Pros, and they answered all my questions. Unfortunately, they answered some questions that I was hoping that they would answer differently, but it turned out that the 9100 is actually not capable of the functions that I was trying to get out of it. And for those functions, I needed to go with the RCR-Force 12. It's like Christmas morning. There's my button decals. Lots of good stuff in there. Instructions. The instructions for the SP9100 are really thorough. I'm sure they're going to be the same for this one. Oh, here's the module. Look at that. Even got a fingerprint on there. That is beautiful. Aluminum. That's what it's all about right there. That's what it's all about. Whenever and wherever you can support that,
Do it.
There's the switch panel. 12 clicky switches. And this is the communications wire that goes from the switch panel to the module. And here are the high power lines. These, unlike the SP9100, this one has these high power lines, and you would use these for the higher output stuff. And we got the positive cable. There's a big fuse in there, I'm sure. After this, I think I'll do a comparison, an unbox comparison maybe. Actually, it won't be a full unbox because the 9100 is actually set up on my test board, so I won't be able to really, I'm not going to take it all apart to put it back in the box. But. So this one, the RCR Racer, they call it the RCR-Force 12, comes with this sort of touch sensitive panel that fits over top here. So you can feel the buttons. So it makes it easier to locate the buttons, I suppose. It's kind of cool. That didn't come with the 9100, but you get it for your money on this one. And odds and ends for running the wiring. There's the, I can't quite understand why they go to the trouble of adding this. I'm not sure how this is really even that helpful. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. But. And here is the wiring to the accessories, the lower draw accessories. And trigger wires, and the size of this loom compared to the 9100 is, this one is a lot thicker. So I think what I'm gonna do is wire this in tandem with the 9100 into this test board that I built for the 9100 so I could test the functionality on the 9100. So on the left side, I got SP9100. On the right side is the RCR-Force 12. These are the two kits that are available. There are some components here that are actually shared between the two kits. So I'll talk about those first. First off, the mounting brackets. I'm assuming these are vehicle specific. I'm not going to end up using them in my TJ, but those are shared between the two kits. Sticker sheets. These are all the same stickers, 2 sheets. The comm cables, despite the fact that the RCR-12 has 12 buttons and the 9100 has 8, the comm cables that run from the switch pads to the modules seem to be the same cable. I'm gonna have to check the spec to make sure of that, but based on what they look like right here, I'm gonna say they're probably the same cable. So now for the differences. So obviously the RCR-Force 12 is a much higher capacity kit. This is a 150 amp kit where the 9100 is a 125 amp kit. So the size of the modules is different. The RCR-Force 12 is much bigger, you can see, and it's also got an extra port. And the power cables, for the RCR-Force 12, there's a 2 gauge cable with a 150 amp inline fuse, whereas the 9100 has what looks to be a 4 gauge. I'm going to say this is a 4 gauge cable with 125 amp inline fuse. So then we got the wire looms. The wire looms for the RCR-Force 12 are slightly bigger, only because the harnesses are bigger because they're carrying more function and more power. So switch harnesses, as I just said, the switch harness for the RCR-Force 12 is considerably bigger than the one for the 9100. So you can see the difference in the plug sizes. And the RCR-Force 12 also has this extra port here for the high draw switches. I think they're 1 through 4. This is, I believe, 10 gauge wire. This is going to be for cooling fans and higher draw situations like that. The installation kits, obviously the brackets are included in the installation kit, the brackets to hold the keypads, so they're going to be slightly bigger for the RCR-Force 12 than the 9100. But other than that, I mean, these are just miscellaneous electrical connections. The RCR-Force 12 probably has a few more because there are more switches to hook up. But other than that, I believe that's pretty much it.